Okay, welcome to our class of fundamental of programming topic today. Today we will discuss about fundamental of programming and PHP. Okay, the fundamental of programming, we can say that something about the ground or the fundamental of any programming language. You learn about fundamental of programming, any programming, so you can apply to any programming language. Okay, you learn one, then you can use with any programming language. We can say that any programming language they are depend on this principle. They are depend on this principle and depend on this fundamental. Okay, last class we were talking about what we call how the programming language build up. Okay, how the programming construct and then build upon of some kind of principle, right? We're talking about linguistic. We're talking about what we call variable statement, some kind of what we call fundamental of the programming or language itself. Okay, that we can say any programming language or any language that used to write the code, they are based on that principle. Okay. Okay, today we will go more deeper. Okay, and then we will class with example of programming language that we are going to use. PHP programming language. Okay, this is our class today. Okay, fundamental of programming is, we can say that this is the fundamental or the basic. We cannot say basics. We can say the thing that every programmer or every developer, when they need to learn about programming, they have to learn about fundamental first. You have to make your strong background about programming. Okay, based on the fundamental, whatever programming language, whatever you need to move to any programming language on this earth. Okay, from here to the future. So if you cannot be, your background, your knowledge about fundamental of programming not strong enough, you cannot, you are not what we call not comfortable to jump from one programming language to another. So better you learn the fundamental, and then you can jump whatever programming language according to the trend, according to the job market. I listed here about the programming language things that we can say that every programming language, they have to use it. Okay, they have to implement it. Okay, there are many topics that we can discuss about programming fundamental things. Here there are, for example, here we have variable and data types. We have a conditional code. Okay, variable and data type, there we have string, numbers, character, operator, something like this. We call variable and data type. We have integer and float, some kind of that. Okay, we have a conditional code, if else switch. We have modular code, how to we can say how to split the code to a chunk. Okay, to be a small part. We do not recommend you to write the whole code in one single file. The code should be split into a chunk, or to be split into several files and then combined together to be a subsystem, a component, and then combined together to be a system. Okay, we have iteration. Okay, we have iteration. For example, we have for a while, or for another name we can loop. Okay, looping. Okay, we do something again and again. We don't want to write the code for many lines, right? For example, you want to print some kind of 100 line, 100 things. So you don't want to print a code for 100 lines. You can write by using for or a while, and then specify a condition according to the unit. Okay, we have a collection. Example of collection is an array. You can say array. We have objects. Okay, this is the another paradigm, the special paradigm because object oriented, so we can specify everything to be in terms of object, okay, in terms of object, and then we can define object, we can call object, and then we can modify the object. Okay, we have date and we have times. This is where you have to learn about date and time. Programming style, because of programming, each programming language they have different style of coding. Okay, and so they have so you want to learn more specific about programming language, you have to go deeper to that programming language manual or that programming language what we say, a book. Okay, so we can go more deeper about programming style. The style can be such as they support how many kind of what we call style. For example, as you have to write you have to declare the what we call variable by using $char in PHP. That is called we call style. You have to write in terms of camel case, upper first, lower first. You should not start by a number in terms of you want to declare variable, something like that. Input and output. Okay, you have to know how to the programming language have to provide input and output, receive what we call receive data from the user input and then display to the user as output. Okay, and then when things go wrong, okay, when things go wrong about error, debugging, fixing an error, this thing that we can say the fundamental things of programming language. So this is thing that when you whatever you are level in, so you want to make more comfortable in writing the code and collaborate with your college or your partner. So this is thing that you have to relearn again and again. Okay, relearn and again and again. So make sure that you are good enough in each thing. Okay, in each thing. Okay, this is about programming fundamental. Okay, we have another programming fundamental things that I say here, plus extra additional thing that you will you want to learn about fundamental thing about programming. This thing you should also learn about this thing. Okay, especially for web development. Okay, especially you wanna be web developer. Okay, you cannot deny today about a web because it's everywhere. Okay, many applications they are based on web and then they try to run only in web browser. Okay, this is the why we have web technology very essential for today and very important, and then they have many job opportunity over there about web development. Okay, here we have web technique that you have to learn. You want to be more productive, more what we call more professional in programming language. It's about fundamental. Okay, it's about fundamental. We have HTTP that you have to learn how the internet communicate through this format. Server information, how you can receive server information by using programming language to retrieve the data from the server. Okay, how processing form, how you processing a form, for example login form, a register form, adding some kind of data. This is about web techniques. Okay, database, you want to go to work with database, you have to learn. For example, here we have a PHP. They will work with MySQL and PDO. Okay, PHP data object is the main database, what we call a connection of library that used to connect to the database of the PHP. Okay, at the previous we always using the MySQL connection. Okay, right now that feature is deprecated already. This is out of date. Okay, it's not allowed to use in your application, and then they remove already on what we call new version of PHP, especially PHP version 8. Okay, version 8. Graphic, you have to learn about graphic, also how to render some kind of graphic by using a programming language. You have to know how to generate and create a PDF file by using programming language. Okay, you have to know how to work with XML. Okay, XML or JSON. Okay, they are something similar. Okay, but JSON more we call more popular. Okay, JSON such as JavaScript object notation is like a small database that can be run standalone run. Okay, you can move to anywhere by one single file. We call JSON. Okay, .json. If we look back to what we call the structure that we were created by using a composer, you will see that composer they are using JSON to collect the data. Okay, structuring the structure of composer using the JSON file. Okay, security. Okay, security is very important also. You have to know how to filter input. Okay, escaping output data, and then to know checking the security vulnerability of your system before you deploy your system to the user. Okay, application technique, code library, template system, performance tuning, something that this has become one of the modern era they are using for modern development. Okay, especially code library. You will not start developing something from ground, but you should start something from existing already. So you download it and then you can use it via what we call auto loading by using a composer to make it available. Okay. And we have web service, especially right now RESTful web service. There has become one main thing that the market really need a person who can do the API in terms of RESTful API. Okay, because some kind of application they do not want you to what we call to do in terms of interface only, but they need you to coding to calculate something. Okay, to do something on the background. So we can use RESTful API, and then this component can be stored anywhere, and then we can call via interface. Okay, via API we call advanced programming interface or application programming interface. It's about web services. This has become the most challenge nowadays. Okay, you want to learn this one is very become new things that become a trend on the what we call developer to do this one. You have to be able, if you want to get opportunity to get a job, you have to do this one. You have to able to do this thing. Okay, web service. Debugging PHP. Okay, especially debugging any programming language, you have to know how to debugging. Okay, you don't know just only write the code, but you have to know how to debug when you got an error. Okay, there are many tools, there are many techniques to debugging, but the simple one is you debug by see the error and then find the code by yourself, line by line, right? That is the traditional way. It will make you more tired to do such that. Because of what? Because you have to search line by line, something like that. So it will make you more difficult life of to be such developer. Okay, we have many tools for debugging. Okay, Xdebug, something like that. Okay, I hope you know already about this thing. Okay, what does PHP do? Okay, PHP can do two main things. Okay, the first is to be a server-side scripting, and the second is command line scripting. Okay, the first one is server-side scripting. It provides what we call dynamic web content. Okay, it can what we say, it generates HTML, it can generate PDF, it can generate XML or JSON files. This thing is the fundamental of PHP. Okay, fundamental of PHP. As we doing by normal, we do such that server-side scripting. Okay, we connect to database. Okay, we connect to database and then we retrieve the data and then we display to the user, okay, via interface, okay, via interface or visual, where some kind of display to user, whatever beautiful or not your UI, but there is we call server-side scripting. It's executing some kind of command that you give to it and then display to you, okay, via interface, okay, in terms of HTML and in terms of XML or in terms of PDF or graphic or more. This is we call server-side scripting. And then we have another tool, we have another duty of PHP that PHP can do. There is command line scripting, okay. If you see last time you are using Laravel, you will see that we use one command to run the Laravel, right? We use PHP artisan serve, right? There is the command line scripting that working behind the scene and then make Laravel up. Or you can use the built-in PHP engine to run the PHP itself by run the PHP, okay, by run PHP and local, and then plus by port that you want to run, and then run your application. So it run like a command line, okay. It will work you like a Unix shell, okay, like a Unix shell. You can run like a batch, okay, like a batch. You may use the command line script for system administrator task. You can do anything about command line. Whatever another programming can do, the PHP can do it also in terms of command line scripting. You can do automating something via command line. If you want to restart your computer, you can restart your computer by using PHP, okay, PHP programming language. If you want to do something, okay, recording, editing something, you can do in the PHP. You can write the code in PHP and then let PHP run and then do that thing for you, okay. But you cannot see the in terms of GUI or visual. That's why we call non-visual PHP task, okay. If we run in the background in the terminal, or we call command line script, okay. This is another way of PHP doing, okay. We can use PHP for many ways. Mostly we are using PHP for web. This is the most popular of PHP. They are implement PHP in terms of web, okay, web development. But PHP also can do in terms of command line scripting, okay.